Halakules, welcome back to the channel, guys. Barça were back in action tonight in the Copa del Rey round of 16 game against Real Betis, and we have ended up winning 5-1. Yet again, we have gotten the better of our opponents convincingly. It was our first home game of the season, and it was a party atmosphere at the Montjuic following Sunday's victory against Real Madrid in the Spanish Supercopa. It was indeed a party atmosphere at the Montjuic, and just before kickoff, Araujo, who was the captain on the night, because of course he is back and Ter Stegen is still out injured, so Araujo led the team out tonight. He took over the captain's armband from Raphinha and he came out presenting the trophy that we brought home from Saudi Arabia. He presented it to the fans, and you could see that the mood in the stadium was one of serious joy and enthusiasm. The fans were very proud of the team, and it showed. The team also gave it back to the fans as well, because it was a super performance on the night. It was a 5-star performance from Barça, and it was a match that Barça has dominated from start to finish. Of course, Hansi Flick made some changes to his starting lineup, 5 changes to be precise, from the game against Real Madrid on Sunday, and Inaki Pena came in place of Szczesny in goal. Of course, obviously Szczesny was red carded in the final, so he was ineligible to play tonight. In the defense, Araujo started, of course, in place of the injured Inigo Martinez, and Gerard Martin replaced Balde at left back. In midfield, Dani Olmo came back into the starting lineup, but strangely this time around he didn't start as a midfielder, but he was named as a false 9 in place of Lewandowski, and boy did Olmo deliver. Of course, Lamine Yamal and Raphinha kept their places, as well as Pedri and Gavi. Marcasado was rested as Frenkie de Jong made his first start in a very long time, and it was a really important game for de Jong, and I have to say that credit to him. He did his bit tonight. He was really great in midfield tonight. He was playing like a man that had a point to prove, and you could see from his performance Frenkie de Jong seized his opportunity tonight, and it was a good sign, because clearly now it is evident in this team that nobody is taking their place for granted. The competition for places is there, and you could see from the performance of the whole team. The whole team tonight, they were superb. Everybody played like they had a point to prove. You could see the atmosphere, the feeling around the team. Everybody is happy because Barca are on a high right now. The euphoria of just winning the Super Cup, the first silver of the season, and the way we are looking, it seems like we are going to be in contention for all the titles this season. Yet again, the front line, they were superb. Lamine Yamal was the pick of the bunch. He, for the first time in his career, he scored for 3 consecutive games. He caught Barca's 5th goal of the night, but before that, he had already wreaked havoc on the Real Betis defense. He set up Kounde for Barca's 2nd goal, and he linked up brilliantly with an amazing run that was tough of genius to set up Raphinha's goal. That was the 3rd goal of the game, and Raphinha was substituted as well because Flick, of course, is looking to give his players some rest. Mind you, La Liga action returns on Saturday, where we shall be traveling to Madrid to play Getafe. But it was a bright start from Barca in the game against Betis, to be honest. Barca dominated from start to finish. As early as the 3rd minute, Gavi gave us the lead after beautiful play by Dani Olmo and Pedri. Gavi scored against his boyhood club Real Betis, and you could see the respectful way that he celebrated the goal. He didn't really want to celebrate. There was no over-the-top celebration from Gavi. He showed respect to where his roots came, and this is a very likable trait in the player that Gavi is. Overall, it was a beautiful night. The experiment of Olmo as a first 9, it worked. I have to say, it worked superbly for Flick tonight. Olmo, even though he wasn't on the score sheet, he had a very influential role in the final result tonight. He had 2 assists, assisting the 1st goal and also assisting the 4th goal for Ferran Torres, who came on as a substitute later in the game. And it was really refreshing to see that Hansi Flick was able to rotate the team tonight, and the team look at a very good place right now. But another thing I want to look at tonight, of course, is the situation of Araujo. Mind you, he was part of the starting lineup tonight after a very eventful Wednesday that we have encountered, because the news that we woke up to on Wednesday regarding Barca was about the future of Araujo. And I said it, guys. Remember, I said it in the last video that one of the significance of that victory and that game against Real Madrid was going to be the future of Araujo. Araujo has been linked with a departure from Barça. It seemed like even on Tuesday, what we heard on Tuesday evening was that he was still insisting that he wanted to leave to join Juventus. But thankfully, in a very, very beautiful turn of events as expected, it seems like Deco had to intervene in this situation, because the news that made it out on Wednesday was that Deco had a discussion, a very, very lengthy discussion with Araujo in the late hours of Tuesday evening. And at that point, he was able to convince Araujo that Barça was still the very best place for him to be playing his football, and it seems Araujo would not be leaving Barça in January after all. From all we've heard, it seems like Juventus have accepted defeat in this pursuit of Araujo, because it was said that they were preparing a 50 million euro bid for Araujo. But at this point, that bid is not going to fly again, because Araujo is seemingly going to stay at Barça. And I am super excited, guys, because Araujo is a beast of a defender. He had a superb game once again tonight against Betis, and that shows you the quality that we have right now. Now let me tell you guys something. The game against Madrid, there was a sensation I felt when Inigo Martinez went down injured, because in previous years I would have been shitting my pants, guys, because when I remember or when I think of the prospect of whoever was going to come in at that point as a replacement, that was what shitting my pants for. But in that game on Sunday against Madrid, when Inigo went down, when I just remembered that there was Araujo on the bench, I was very, very calm, because I believe so much in the quality of this guy. And this is a major, major coup for Barça, being able to retain the services of Araujo. And that is not just the sweetest part of it all. According to what we heard, it's not only that Araujo will no longer be living in this January transfer window, but apparently Araujo is also on the verge of signing a new contract at Barcelona. So his future is on the verge of being committed to Barcelona, and it seems like we cannot escape good news this time. Everything just seems to be falling into place at this point in time, and I am super, super excited. Obviously, Deco played a major role in convincing Araujo to stay, and also his teammates, I think they also played a very, very key role in convincing him to stay, because after the game on Sunday against Madrid, you could see pictures when Lewandowski was trying to convince him that, guy, you have to stay at Barca. Even if you want to leave, wait until the summer before you make that move. You have to stay at Barca. And another touching gesture was when Gavi took him to the Barca fans and he was urging them to sing Araujo's praises, and they were chanting Araujo's name at full time after the final against Madrid. I think some of these things have played a part in why Araujo has decided to remain at Barca. Of course, Deco's intervention has been said to be very, very key, because he made him some promises. Well, let's remember, Barca are now back in the 1-for-1 rule in La Liga. This has been a major, major talking point all season, but right now we are back to the 1-for-1 rule, and I think, or it is believed that could have been a factor that Deco used in convincing Araujo to stay, because now it is promised that his next contract, Barca are going to make an economic effort, which means that Barca are willing to offer him a better contract than what they were offering him before. Another point that Deco used to convince Araujo is the fact that his release clause, which is currently at 1 billion euros, is going to be reduced to a more reasonable sum, whereby in the event that he may need to depart later on in the future, it will not be as difficult or impossible for interested clubs to be able to activate. So I feel it's a win-win situation for all parties, because let's face facts, bro. Araujo is still one of the best players in his position in the whole of the world, and the fact that Inigo Martinez has been superb should not distract us from how good Araujo can be. It is never a bad thing for a top side like Barca to have quality options at centre half. So it is a good thing for us, because Kubasi is still only 17. We tend to forget that Kubasi is still only 17. As a matter of fact, Kubasi, as good as he is, he's not supposed to be playing in every game, but that is the situation we find ourselves in at this point, because of course it is always said that if you are good enough, you are old enough. That is the case with Kubasi, but injuries could occur. The need to rotate the team is also there, so having Araujo on this team is always going to be a plus. But overall, it has been a beautiful Wednesday for us Barca fans. We have qualified for the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey after that thrashing of Real Betis at the Montjuic. Araujo has decided that he is going to remain at Barca at least until the end of the season. So this is a beautiful Wednesday for us, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, guys. What was your standout performance tonight? I think I'll give the whole team an A, because tonight was champagne football at the Montjuic. As always, Visca El Barça, and I'll catch you in the next video. Adios.